How's it going, guys? So, time for a big update on the Cavalier. Obviously, it's in the garage. I've actually had time to work on it. It's been in the garage for about 3 weeks, I think, but I've only been really working on it for 2 days. So, obviously, you see the front bumper's off completely. And now I can see a little bit better on the damage from when the car was hit. It's got a little bit of a dimple right there, and it's pushed over a little bit that way, but it's not a big deal at all. Let's say just in the engine bay, I have the entire AC system is completely out of this car, other than the AC pump. The computer, which was right here, has completely moved. All the wiring was in through here and had a bunch of other things tied to it, and it's been pulled back because it also went, I think, underneath the fender. Pulled back through the hole inside of the firewall, and I'll show you that in a second. It goes in, and it's the computer sitting kind of right in the middle, right by the shifter. So all the wiring, the engine harness for this car, is completely moved inside, which a lot of people have an issue with doing that with a lot of cars, and this car has just been extremely easy to work on. People are so worried about wiring, and I mean, maybe it's because I'm an electrician, it makes it easier, but this car has just been super easy, and I'm probably gonna, it's gonna bite me, but just for saying that. But anyways, I'll show you that in a second with wiring. But here's been the biggest pain in my ass on this car and why it's taken me so long. This is, I think, the third master cylinder I've put in this car, and the third or fourth time I've redone these brake line fittings because I've changed master cylinders, because this was the original one. And what actually happened was this is a weird year master cylinder, I think, but these are two like check valves, and when you turn the ignition on, these will open and get the flow of the brake fluid. Well, this one no longer worked, and then that's why it was only putting a lot of pressure into this one, and then it actually blew a brake line, and I think that's what drained the fluid, and this got dry, and then this is junk. I then found a master cylinder out of an S10 pickup, and it was the wrong, I don't know how you explain, like the wrong throw within the plunger here, and when I would hit the brake pedal, it would blow the seal and just leak brake fluid out of the back here. So I finally got one. This is off of, I think, an 04 Cavalier from a buddy of mine. So finally that's fixed, and the brakes, I just fixed them now. It just worked. I'm freaking happy. Now, if you haven't done brakes a lot, you're gonna need a bunch of tools for those. These are old tools, but you put the brake line in there, tighten it down. This is just the flare tool, and then you put that on there and it'll flare it out. And then you get a pipe cutter, which is that right there. You'll wrap it around the end. You can see that. I can't see it, but you'll wrap it around the brake line and flip it around and cut it. But anyways, the brakes are finally fixed, so I'm happy with that. The whole wiper motor, whole system for that's gone out of there. And now to the interior. Completely gutted. Everything, the dash, steering wheel, I'll explain that in a second. Everything is gutted, and it indeed took a while to gut everything, but it really wasn't that bad. You're gonna have like your AC lines, I think, are on these two holes right here, and then you'll cut them from the inside, and there's a bunch of bolts everywhere. You can pull that out. These are your heater core lines that come through there to the heater core. I took one of the hoses and just wrapped it around and just bypassed the heater core itself, so that's now taken care of. Like I said, there's the computer wiring. Goes all the way from that hole in the firewall to here, and I'm gonna mount it somewhere here. I'm not sure where yet. Here, up here, I don't know. We'll see once I get a cage in here, and we can figure that all out. But this car is the most I've ever gutted a car, and I kind of like it. A lot of room, and I can really build a cage in this. And a buddy of mine, I had him over to help me with the brakes the first time. He's come up with a pretty damn good plan, and this car, if it's built the way that he showed me and was talking about, this car is going to be insanely built, and it's the way that I wanted to build a car. And I can go on explaining that later in a different video, I think. But the car is finally completely gutted, and looking through everything, I mean, this car is really clean. And I said it was to begin with because it only has 98,000 miles. Or sorry, 80. What the heck was it? 80,000 miles. And you know, this car is just, I'm happy with it. Really, really clean. Oh, that's another thing. With it running, before I was saying I was having an issue with it running, and I know it had sat for a while. When I took this battery cables and stuff apart and was playing with other stuff, moving stuff around, I went to go put the battery cable on and it wouldn't start. I knew this was tight, so I wiggled the wiring around a little bit and it started arcing a little bit, and it actually started. So I was like, okay, I have a ground issue. So I don't think you can see. Hold on a second, I got my phone. There you go. So right on the corner about right here. Trying to multitask. Right here, that's where the old ground was for the battery cables. And that's why this thing is running like that, because it did not have any ground to it. So, that being the case, I fixed that, and this is actually the old battery cable from the Geo, which that's still going to get fixed. This is just a temporary thing. The Geo is going to be ran again, but this thing runs a heck of a lot better now. That runs so much better. So definitely happy with that. Here's another thing. Like I said, I've done a lot of work to this thing. It also, I capped the back brakes off, and I'll show you the master cylinder. Well, actually, that master cylinder is a little bit different. So I just completely took the back brakes off the brake, or the wheel cylinders in the back. And if you do figure 8, this is something you definitely need to get yourself. It's a hydraulic emergency brake. I have it coming from here, it goes to the back, and there's a splitter. And I can make another video on this too, but it has a splitter, and then it splits to the left rear and the right rear. And basically this is another master cylinder, but it's a handbrake. So, simple as that. So if you're going around a corner when you're doing a figure 8, which is what this car is, you know, you're turning the wheel, you're hammering on the gas, but if you don't have an e-brake, I mean, here's the original one, but those don't work as well. So I have mine to go to both wheels, so it locks both of them up. But you're going around the corner, you hit this, your rear wheels lock up, the momentum from you going forward just throws the ass end around so quickly. And when I had this in the turd, I mean, that car was horrible, it was heavy, but I got this in there, and I mean, I was able to kind of be competitive compared to just being the last place every race. So I'm really happy with this car, and more I'm working on it, the easier it seems to be. And yeah, it's going great. So I'll give you guys an update a little bit later. Oh yeah, the steering wheel. Steering wheel is off, and you wonder why. This is why. That's why. I have a quick release that you get. I've seen a lot of guys run them. Well, a lot of guys run them for circle track racing. But this little guy there will go right onto the steering shaft. You'll weld it, and then push this little button on your aftermarket steering wheel, which this is adapters. It's sold differently too, or separately. There you go. Now you have a quick detaching steering wheel. So I'm gonna get this welded up next, actually, and then that'll be done. And then this car is ready for a cage. So it's coming along pretty dang good. And soon, I checked the spark plugs in these. They looked fine, look new, but it's the weirdest off-brand spark plug I've ever seen. I've never heard of them before, and a buddy of mine never has either. He told me, he's like, if for these specific motors and the way that I'm going to run it, you need the E3 spark plugs. So the ones that actually have, you know, the 3 prongs instead of just the one. So I'm going to put these in next, and then we'll see how this thing really runs. So this is my project next, but that'll probably be a little update in the next video. That's just long enough of a video. So just excited to say that this car is coming along great, kind of fast, and I'm ready to build it. I'm excited because I'm actually going to be able to race next season, because I wasn't sure if I was going to even find a car. And actually, a little bit of a teaser, I bought another car. So, well, I bought 2 other cars actually. One of them is actually being sold to a different buddy of mine, and I can explain that in a different video. But the one I just bought last weekend might be a circle track car. It's still front wheel drive, but that's something I've been wanting to get into next. So we'll get into that and have a video on that car soon. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you had any questions about anything, I'm going to try to make this, you know, I don't see a whole lot of figure 8 derby cars on YouTube. So I kind of want to start something maybe. I'm not into this whole YouTube stuff that much, but I just do it for my own enjoyment kind of thing and kind of show other people. So I think I'm going to do that and make kind of a bigger series on a figure 8 car, what you can and can't do, at least for our rules, and just kind of little mini tricks that I've learned along the way. So yeah, I think that's gonna be fun. So till the next one, see you later.